From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. Manitobans who want to replace their paper health cards with new plastic ones will have to wait a couple more weeks. The provincial government has said applications for the more durable, modern plastic cards would open this month. But Premier Wab Kinew says they're not there just yet.
Well, we're ready to go out in mid-January. I think the portal's ready, but making that list, checking it twice, I think is probably always a good idea.
The new plastic cards were promised in the spring budget, along with digital copies. Strict new legislation has been introduced in Ontario, clearing the way for police and municipalities to remove homeless encampments from public spaces. However, many Ontarians are deeply divided over how the issue should be handled. A recent survey shows that while 65% of Ontarians are concerned about encampments in their community, only 12% support stronger law enforcement measures to clear them. The Christmas season is bringing some more stormy weather to the British Columbia coast.
A special weather statement from Environment Canada notes a low-pressure center off the coast will bring strong winds Monday morning and intensify throughout the evening. The statement goes on to say a powerful storm will then hit the north coast late Tuesday evening, with heavy rain and strong winds expected to continue until early Thursday. The BC coast has been besieged by storms as of late, with a wind warning being issued Sunday for the province's north and central coast. The week before, Environment Canada says a storm saw wind gusts climb as high as 96 kilometers per hour at Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal in Delta. David Bowles, The Canadian Press.
Green Party leader Elizabeth May is lending her voice to the discussion on Justin Trudeau's future amid calls to step down.
If I were in his shoes, I would have stepped down a long time ago.
But Elizabeth May says she's not in Justin Trudeau's shoes, and so the Liberal Party's fortunes in the next election are not her concern.
I don't know what business it is of any of ours to help the Liberal Party out by pointing out the obvious. Justin Trudeau isn't a popular leader. You'd be better off without him.
Still, May said in the face of looming tariff threats from incoming U.S. President Donald Trump and the unprecedented Canada bashing, May said there's value in showing unity as a country. After calls from his own MPs to step down, Trudeau said last week he was taking time to reflect on his future. Nick Murray, The Canadian Press, Ottawa.
And finally, U.S. President Joe Biden is commuting the sentences of 37 out of 40 people on federal death row. The move will see their sentences converted to life behind bars. It also comes ahead of the White House return of Donald Trump, who's an outspoken proponent of expanding capital punishment. Biden took a political jab at Trump, saying, quote, "In good conscience, I cannot stand back and let a new administration resume executions that I halted." His administration announced a moratorium on federal capital punishment back in 2021. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the NHL had 6 games on the sked, including one with 2 Canadian teams. Victor Arvidsson had a goal and an assist as the surging Edmonton Oilers snapped the visiting Ottawa Senators' 6-game win streak with a 3-1 victory. Elsewhere, the Colorado Avalanche rolled past the visiting Seattle Kraken 5-2. Florida, Carolina, and Washington all posting wins, while Anaheim needed a shootout to decide things with Utah, 5-4 the final. Still on the ice, Minnesota beat New York 4-3 in a shootout, that game in the PWHL. In the NBA, the Toronto Raptors blew an early 16-point lead and saw their losing streak reach 7 games in a tense 114-110 defeat to the visiting Houston Rockets. The Raps are now 7-22 on the season. And on a busy day in the NFL, James Cook scored 2 touchdowns while Buffalo's defense forced 3 second-half turnovers en route to a come-from-behind 24-21 victory over the New England Patriots. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.